just a little unwell, a little unwell, how I used to be.
So let's get started on the first topic of the program. Where am I going? Before we get started, have you printed off your program notes? And just have a pen or something with you so you can jot things down, any key ideas as we go. So where am I going? Let's start with just a little reflection on that. Let's think about your story and where this all began for you. So do you remember a time when your life changed? For some of you it may be a sudden moment in time, and for others it might be a slow dawning. So it could have been a moment when you woke up in hospital after an accident, a moment when you're sitting at the doctor's office and you hear a diagnosis, you hear bad news. Whatever that moment is for you is no doubt a very personal one, but also a very significant one in your journey of living with an illness or disability. So we think of this as a journey, our journey of life with an illness or disability. And look, there's no doubt it's a bumpy road. There are many twists and turns and obstacles and things that hold us back and block us on this road that we're on. And in this program, it's that journey that we're most interested in. Look, many paths lead to this place. We've been using the terms illness or disability in a very general, very broad way. But for a moment, I want you to think about specifically the challenges that are yours. These issues may be affecting your mobility. They may be causing you constant discomfort or pain. It may be that they affect some of your senses, your sight, your hearing, other parts of your daily life. Maybe that you have a particular label or a diagnosis that explains what you're going through. Maybe it's cancer, maybe it's arthritis, diabetes, maybe it's a car accident or some other injury. Or look, honestly, maybe it is not that clearly defined. All of that is important as we look at the emotional journey of living our lives as full as possible, regardless of those health issues. So as we think about the story and the journey of our lives, it can be quite useful to think about various stages in that journey or chapters in the story of our life. But let's talk about the stages that are very common that many people work through. I'm just going to mention them here, but we'll be building on this in the later topics. So let's just quickly name those stages. The first stage, stage 1, is the diagnosis stage. The second stage is the impact stage, and that's when the full meaning of what has happened starts to impact on us. The third stage is the empty stage, where we often feel quite drained through everything we've gone through. The fourth stage is the coping stage, and that often comes about when we start to realise that there is something we can do about what's happened. And that stage number 5 is living again. And for a few, and perhaps a very, very rare few, they actually talk about finding a richness or a deepness in their life that they never knew existed before. And so on our journey of life with an illness or a disability, we would like to open the doors to help each and every one of you move forward, step ahead, overcome obstacles or blocks along the way, and if possible, take your own life forward to that place, through coping, to the place of living again. That would be our mission, our challenge in this program. And lastly, I'd like to just share with you what we call the traveller's secret. This is a secret known probably only to fellow companions on the journey. Perhaps it's a secret that doesn't make sense to a lot of other people. The secret is that the real healing has less to do with physical limitations than it has to do with the healing of the heart and of the mind. And it's that healing of the heart and the mind that we are most interested in this program. After you've completed this video, make sure you do spend that time and just go through each of these, the important key ideas and what they mean in your life, where you ask questions like, what stages do I identify with? What are the main struggles and challenges that I've been facing? And as well as that, move on to life skill number 1, which is actually storytelling, and print it out. That's a great way of doing it. And work through each of those questions that gets you to think about or structure or give meaning to the story of what has happened in your life. Great experience, because then you can find in everyday life, you start to listen to the story you tell yourself, the story you're telling others, and make sure it's a good story. Make sure it's a story that you're proud of. Make sure it's a story that you can find courage, strength in your journey. Thank you.
I'm just a little unwell, how I used to be.